Hello, everybody. Welcome to another day of OT with Dan. Hope everyone is feeling good, had a nice, healthy, safe weekend, and is ready for another week. I'd like to welcome everybody to our class. I'm Dan. Here's our OT class for today. All right, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Just want to remind everyone quickly that our classes are meant just to be fun, educational classes, not meant to replace any existing therapies or services, but just meant for parents and students to do together, just so that our parents can help our students learn these different skills and implement the skills and strategies. Just give ourselves a chance to learn these different exercises and movements, breathing, and see if we can incorporate them throughout the day, okay, throughout our routine. Also, since I'm not able to see what anybody is doing, please make sure you are careful. Everything you're doing is at your own risk, so please make sure you're safe. Consult with your doctor, healthcare provider, primary care professional, healthcare professional. Please consult with whoever you need to consult with before doing these classes if you need to, okay? Make sure you are safe and careful. Number one, I want to make sure you're having fun, but I also want to make sure you are safe, okay? With that being said, I'd like to welcome everyone to our class for today. So remember, we are doing OT activities with different materials that we have at home. So all we need for today's class is our notebook that we've been using, okay, our pencil, okay, and I'll be using a marker so it's easier to see, and a highlighter, okay, and the highlighter is for our parents or for our students. All right, so who remembers what letter of the alphabet we are up to today? Okay, remember, if you're keeping track in your notebook, then we've been doing different exercises for every letter, okay? And if you are just following along for today, you can just use your piece of paper for today. If you have your notebook, see if you can use those fingers, turn just one page at a time. Okay, remember all our exercises. So we get to our next blank page. What letter are we up to today? Who remembers before we get there? G-H-I. Today we are on our letter I, okay? So we learned in sign language that we have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and today is I, okay? And we can try on our other hand, see if we can trick ourselves, challenge ourselves. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, right? So today we have our letter I, okay? And if we keep practicing each letter, we'll have our whole alphabet learned and down packed, okay? So today we have our letter I, all right? So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna write our letter I. So before we start writing our letter I like to write it in the air. It's a good practice for our brains just to see how that letter I looks. So we take our pointing finger, we go all the way to the top. Our letter I goes across, down the middle, and across again. What about a lowercase letter I? What does our lowercase letter I look like? Our lowercase letter I, we start in the middle, we make a line down, and a dot right on top. All right, let's try the same thing with our other hand. Other hand, go to the top, and we go across, down the middle, and across the bottom. And our lowercase, we start in the middle, we go down, and back to the middle, but the top, make a dot. Okay? Now let's try on our paper. Okay, so I am actually out of paper, so I'm gonna take my notebook. Okay, so if we're using our pencil, see if you can hold that pencil in your fingers. Okay, your middle finger can support it. The last two fingers will tuck. Remember, if you need some help, you can always practice holding broken crayons, small pieces of chalk, just to practice using these fingers to hold small items. If you want, you can try with the highlighter. It's a little bigger, so it's a little easier to hold. Or parents, you can write with our highlighter, and then our students can trace or follow along. Okay, so remember, one hand is holding our paper down, the other hand we're holding with our fingers, and see if you can write with your wrist, with your fingers, not with your whole arm. Okay, so we're writing our capital letter I. And we're also going to write our lowercase letter I. Okay, if we're writing with our pencil, and I'm going to use my marker just so it's easier to see. Remember, this opening and closing is a great activity. Okay, if you wrote with your pencil, good job. If you wrote with the highlighter, or our parents helped us with the highlighter, we're going to use our pencil. This is my pencil for today. Okay, and remember, same thing, we're holding it in our fingers. Okay, middle finger is helping. Our pinky and ring finger are just tucked in at the end. Okay, we're making our letter I, go across the top, down the middle, across the bottom. Our lowercase, we start in the middle and go down. And in the top, middle, and top, make our dot. Okay, so we can close our marker. All right, we can also use our finger to practice tracing these letters. And with our other hand. And just remember that sometimes if it's hard to do some handwriting, we can always use our finger to practice writing or drawing the word in the air, and it'll help our brain to see it in the air, and it'll help us with our handwriting. Okay, so our letter I. Let's see what exercises we can do for our letter I. What is an animal that starts with the letter I? Again, if you heard in our last class, then don't tell anybody the answer, okay? But if you haven't heard, what is an animal that starts with the letter I? And actually, the one that I'm thinking of is a reptile. Okay, so does anyone know what a reptile is? What is a reptile? Or what are some kinds of reptiles? Right, so there's turtles, lizards. Okay, today we are going to be doing something called an iguana crawl. All right, so our iguana crawl, we're going to lay on the floor on our bellies. We're going to see if we can move one leg at a time, nice and slow, because when an iguana crawls, it crawls very slow. So let's go ahead and lay on our belly and give it a try. Okay, I'm going to lay diagonal because I'm a little bit, don't have enough space. I'm a little big for this space. Okay, we lay right on our bellies, get nice and comfortable. Our iguana crawl, we lift one leg up. Okay, try to keep your belly flat on the floor. So don't turn to the side. Try to keep your belly flat on the floor. Okay, when your leg is up, push on your hands. See if you can push your body back to get that leg that was bent behind you. And if it's behind you, see if you can bring it forward. So again, your belly is staying flat to the floor, and you bring that leg forward. Okay, so we'll try again. Bring it back. Bring it back behind us. And we bring it forward. Okay, so one more time, a little faster. Bring it back. And we bring it forward. All right, this is our iguana crawl. Okay, so we have iguana crawl on one side. Nice and slow. Okay, and if you have the room, we have iguana crawl on our other side. So our next leg comes up and back. Same thing, our belly is facing the floor. Up and back. Okay, our iguana crawl. Up and back. Okay, once it's up here, we can now bring our other leg up or back or up or back. Okay, if we want to try it, if you have enough room, you can start laying on your belly. And a whole movement, a whole sequence of iguana crawl will look like this. Bring one leg up, okay? And we bring the other leg all the way up. Bring it back. Bring it up. Okay. Bring our other leg up. And bring it back. Bring that leg back up. Right? So iguanas move very slow. Just that one leg at a time. Okay? So it's a little bit of a tricky one. And remember, we get to just try all these different exercises and movements just to see which ones we like. And even just giving this a try, even just getting on the floor and practicing this one, it is a little tricky, but even just practicing it is already a good exercise. I'm over here sweating. How's everybody feeling at home? So again, just give it a try. See how it feels to move around, okay? And the iguana crawl, it's a little tricky because you have to move just one part of your body at a time, right? So it's a nice way to really test how you move just one limb, one leg at a time, okay? Next, we take our piece of paper. Now we have to write our word iguana. So if our parents are helping, we can use the highlighter, or our students can use the highlighter too, or you can use the pencil. You can go right for the pencil. We're gonna write our word iguana. So remember, one hand is holding our paper, one hand is holding our pencil or highlighter. See if we can hold it in our fingers. Okay, when we're writing, right? How do we write? Not with our arm. Okay, so we can write in all capital, all lowercase, or we can make our first letter capital and our next letter is lowercase. Iguana. See if you can pay attention to how you're writing. See if you can keep it in a straight line so that it lines up. If you wrote with your pencil, good job. If you wrote with your highlighter, also good job, okay? And if you wrote with your highlighter or your parents helped with the highlighter, then now we get a chance to trace those letters. So now we're using our pencil. Remember, one hand is holding. See if we can trace those letters. I, G, U, A, N, A. Iguana. Okay, we could put our notebook down. All right, so we got to do our iguana crawl. Okay, can anyone think of another animal or some kind of exercise we can do for the letter I? Remember, we're doing our letter I today. So we can also do our inchworm. Okay, so does anyone remember we did our caterpillar crawl? Our caterpillar crawl, we did it while standing up, right? And we have to use our arms and then use our legs. Use our arms and then use our legs, okay? The inchworm is similar, but we're on our knees and elbows. So how do we do our inchworm? We start on our knees. So let's go drop down to your knees, everyone. On your knees, on your knees, on your knees. Okay, then we go on our elbows also. So we have to bend down, get our elbows on the ground. Okay, so the inchworm, we can either crawl our hands out as far out as we can, and then we can bring our knees in. Crawl our hands out as far as they can. Bring our knees in. We can do the same thing backwards. Knees, and then our hands, arms, knees, and our arms. Okay? If you want to make it a little harder, you can try sliding your arms out. Okay? Lift up to your back toes See if you can practice, or sorry, on your feet then. See if you can practice jumping your legs in. Slide out. Slide in. Okay? So you can practice sliding your legs like this. So that inchworm will be back. Let's see if we can slide your arms back. See if we can slide your arms and forward. Okay. Or we can just crawl those legs back and crawl those arms back. Crawl those legs back and crawl those arms back. Okay? Just making sure that we're separating the arms from the legs. The arms from the legs. Okay? And that's our inchworm. All right? So kind of similar to that caterpillar, but we're doing it on our knees and our elbows instead. Okay? Whew. And remember, it's a little bit tricky. These ones are a little bit hard, a little challenging, but even just getting on the floor and just trying to move around, trying to get your body moving, is already healthy. It's already a good thing to do, just to try, right? Just getting our bodies moving and giving it a try. Okay? All right. Good job, everybody. Who's still with me? Okay. Let's see if we can write our word inchworm. So same thing. If we're using our highlighter or our pencil, okay, either way, gonna hold it in our fingers. One hand is holding our notebook. Let's see if we can use just our fingers to write. Okay. Gonna write our word inchworm. We could do all capital, all lowercase, or we can try to make that first letter capital and our next letters lowercase. In, ch, w, u, m. Inchworm. Okay? If you wrote in highlighter or mom and dad helped with the highlighter, now we're using our pencil. If you wrote in pencil, you can just write again over it in pencil. Okay? Or you can take a rest for this step. Okay? One hand is holding our paper down. Right? We're holding in our fingers. Now we're writing our word inchworm. Whether it's all capital, all lowercase, or just like I'm making it, that first letter capital, and the second, and the next letters lowercase. Inchworm. Okay, so for our letter I for today, we got to do our iguana crawls. Whew, tough one leg at a time. Our inchworm, also a tough one. Okay, now for some fun. We're gonna practice doing our insects. Okay, our insects is just gonna be drawing some fun insects. Okay, so you can turn to another page, or if you have a blank paper, like this, you can use that also. And I'm just gonna use the back of my notebook here as a table. Okay, so if you're on your table, here's my table here. Okay, so we're gonna draw some insects. Drawing is a really great way just to express ourselves, have some fun. Okay, we're gonna just draw some insects using our hand. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is make a high five. This is not a high five, a thumbs up. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and make a thumbs up. And now I want you to bring your knuckles out like this. Okay, so one more time, so we have a thumbs up. And then we bring our knuckles out like this. So it kind of looks like our sign language letter E, but that thumb is out. Okay, so now we're gonna take our hand just like this. It's like a thumbs up, but with our knuckles out, put it right on our paper. Okay, whichever hand is on the paper, we're tracing with the other hand. So if you wanna switch hands, And remember, we're making a thumbs up and just sliding our fingers out. And that's what we're putting on the paper. Oh, careful. Okay, we're using our marker here, or our pencil rather, oops, to trace that hand. Okay, so go ahead, trace your thumbs up with your knuckles out. And just do the best you can. Okay, once you trace your thumbs up, and again, I have to give credit to 5 Minute Crafts for these. Okay, go ahead and close off that hand. Okay, we're gonna turn it like this. Okay, and now what we can do is we can make a line down here, and here, and here, and here. Okay. This turns into our circle. We can make our own lines here. Okay. We can put an eye and a mouth and an antenna. We can make a stinger. And this is how we draw our bee, tracing our hand. Okay, we can also do a bee by drawing our number 3. Okay, and then with our number 3, we just do a 3 the other way. Okay, we make our buzzer, our bee stinger down below. Okay, we do our wings. We make our eyes. Our antenna. Draw our bee lines. And we can also make a bee. Okay, we can also trace our thumb just to make a circle. So that same thumbs up that we're doing, put our thumb on a piece of paper and just trace around it. So we can move that thumb around, practice keeping our thumb on the table, our thumb on the paper. Okay, see if we can just make a circle. Okay, and then with that circle, we can also put wings. Also put a buzzer, stinger, antennas. Okay, make our body and our eyes, mouth, little cheeks. And we can make our bee like this. All right, so 2 bees, and oh, well, this is our bee also. Okay, so kids crafts, 5 minute crafts have some really, really cool videos of different things that we can draw. So for our eye, we did iguana, inchworm, and our last one is for insect. Okay, but insect is really just for drawing. All right, so our activity is drawing. So drawing is a great way just to take a break and just do something fun that we like to do, get our brains creative and expressing ourselves in something that we like. Okay, so for our drawing today, we did our last I word, insect. Okay, so we did our iguana crawls, our inchworm exercises, and drawing our insects. All right? Otherwise, round of applause. That's our activity for today. Okay? So remember, we're doing exercises and activities for different letters of the alphabet, and some of them might be a little bit more challenging, but even just trying them is already a good thing to do. Okay? And if we don't like them, we don't have to do them again later. But as we do different exercises and activities for all the letters of the alphabet, by the time we finish the alphabet, we will have a bunch of different activities that we've done. So we can always choose different ones if we ever need to take a break, or if we just want to have these in our day, especially if we're not getting a chance to move around a lot. Okay? So, round of applause, everybody. Good job. All right? We did our letter I today. What letter are we going to do tomorrow? So we did A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. Okay? Tomorrow is that letter J. Right? So tune in again tomorrow and let's see what activities we have for our letter J. All right? Thank you everyone so much for tuning in. Hope everyone has a good rest of the day. Just a final reminder, our classes are meant to be educational classes, meant for parents and students to do our classes together so that you can help your students, help your children implement these different skills and strategies. Okay, not meant to replace any existing therapies or services. And also, since I can't see what anyone is doing, please make sure that you know that you're doing everything at your own risk, and so you are careful and safe. And you consult with your doctor, primary care physician, or healthcare provider before starting our classes if you need. Okay? Hope everyone has an awesome rest of their day. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hope these classes are helping. Please reach out if you have any questions. And otherwise, see everyone again tomorrow. Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye.